Picture looking up at the moon. Only this time, it's sporting shimmering silver rings. A celestial halo so bright, it could light up our nights like never before. But here's the question. Would that cosmic spectacle bring wonder or chaos to Earth? Rings around the moon could form from debris, maybe a giant impact or leftover lunar dust. NASA simulations suggest that even small ring particles can reflect tons of sunlight. So imagine the moon glowing with an otherworldly halo, night after night. But hold on, those rings could change our tides, our calendars, maybe even our climate. Stay with me, galactomines. This is where it gets wild. If the moon had rings, how would it reshape our stargazing, our weather, or even our sense of cosmic identity? We're about to break it all down, step by step, and reveal a final answer that might leave you starry-eyed. Hello, galactomines. Professor Cosmo Nebulin here, ready to explore a lunar mystery that's out of this world. Tonight's cosmic conundrum. What if our moon donned a dazzling set of rings? We'll dive into NASA-backed theories on ring formation, the gravitational effects on Earth, and the potential beauty or chaos that could unfold. As always, we'll keep it fun, relatable, and just a bit mind-bending, because the universe is nothing if not surprising. So buckle up, stargazers, and let's turn our eyes to the skies. Rings often form when celestial bodies collide or break apart. Just think of Saturn's shattered moons. For our moon, a massive asteroid impact could eject debris into orbit, creating a temporary ring system. But that debris must lie within the moon's Roche limit, where tidal forces shred larger chunks into rings. NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter data suggests the moon has taken many hits over time, some big enough to do this. However, those impacts happened billions of years ago, so if rings ever formed, they might have dissipated. Still, it's not impossible another large impact could happen in the future. In that case, we might witness rings forming in real time, an awe-inspiring but cataclysmic sight. The debris would likely be a mix of lunar rock and dust, reflecting sunlight differently than Saturn's icy rings. This would give our moon a more shadowy or ashy halo, unlike Saturn's bright, icy glow. Just imagine seeing that hazy ring arc every night, partially blocking out stars and casting strange moon shadows on Earth. The moon's gravitational pull is what creates Earth's tides, so rings could amplify or shift that effect. If the ring mass is significant, it might slightly alter the moon's center of gravity. That could lead to small but noticeable changes in how the moon orbits Earth. In turn, our tides could become more erratic, perhaps stronger high tides or weaker low tides. Coastal regions might see more frequent flooding, or entire tidal ecosystems could change. This might disrupt marine life that depends on stable tidal rhythms. On the flip side, surfers might love bigger, more predictable waves, if they could handle them. Geologists studying Earth-Moon interactions might see new fault lines or volcanic activity triggered by these changes. NASA's Earth Observatory could track subtle shifts in sea levels, providing real-time data. Ultimately, the tides would be a constant reminder that our moon had evolved in a dramatic new way. Right now, we measure months by the moon's phases, but rings could distort our view of those phases. A bright ring might remain visible even during a new moon, throwing off our traditional calendar cues. Ancient cultures that once used moon cycles for planting or festivals would need new methods. We might redefine the full moon to include the ring's brightness, adding complexity to lunar lore. This could spark confusion and fascination. Imagine telling future generations, yes, we used to have a simple 29.5-day cycle. A Astronomers would have to recalculate eclipse predictions, as ring shadows could create partial or ring-lapse phenomena. Timekeeping might shift towards solar-based calendars exclusively, as the moon becomes less reliable. But for stargazers, these changes could be magical. Imagine ring light parties instead of moonlight gatherings. We'd see a whole new set of lunar illusions, with ring glows illuminating night skies. One thing's for sure, the moon would never look the same again. A ringed moon could drastically increase night sky brightness. Astronomers might struggle with ring pollution, making deep sky observations harder. Astrophotographers could find the rings both a blessing and a curse, spectacular to photograph, but washing out faint galaxies. Wildlife that depends on darkness, like nocturnal animals, might be confused by the perpetual lunar glow. We might see more moon shadows, even on nights with minimal lunar phase, thanks to the ring reflection. Meteor showers passing near the rings could create spectacular light shows. Urban areas might barely notice, but rural skies would change forever. This constant brightness could affect human circadian rhythms, potentially impacting sleep and mental health. Scientists would race to study how a ringed moon changes Earth's entire nocturnal ecosystem. In short, our nights would never be truly dark again. Humans have always romanticized the moon. Think poetry, music, mythology. Add rings to that, and you've got an instant cultural revolution. Artists might be inspired to paint swirling halos, while storytellers imagine cosmic prophecies. Some might fear the rings as an omen, others might worship them as divine. Social media would explode with nightly ring pics, from hashtag ring moon selfies to hashtag halo nights. Festivals could spring up, celebrating each ring's birthday or formation. Psychologically, people might feel both awe and unease at such a dramatic change to our sky. Think of it as a daily reminder that we live in a universe far beyond our control. For kids growing up with a ringed moon, they'd never know a plain lunar sky. It would shape their worldview. The moon would become an even stronger cultural icon than it already is. Rings around the moon would be an obstacle for spacecraft, especially for future moon missions. Orbital stations might have to dodge ring debris, complicating satellite trajectories. NASA's Artemis program would need special shielding or flight paths to avoid collisions. Lunar mining ventures could try harvesting ring material. Imagine cosmic dust as a new resource. However, ring instability could cause dust storms in low lunar orbit. Landing on the moon might require precise timing to avoid ring shadows or micrometeoroids. Astronauts could conduct ring walks, studying the composition of debris up close. This might open an entirely new field of ring geophysics, but the risk factor for exploration would skyrocket. If we ever colonize the moon, living under the rings could be both breathtaking and dangerous. Rings don't last forever. Gravitational forces, solar wind, and micrometeoroid impacts gradually erode them. If the moon had rings, they might be transient, disappearing over tens of thousands or millions of years. During their existence, the ring system could undergo drastic changes, thickening, thinning, or shifting in orbit. We might see ring rains as particles fall onto the lunar surface, creating mesmerizing streaks in the sky. Lunar craters could accumulate ring dust, altering the moon's albedo over time. Scientists at NASA, ESA, and other agencies would scramble to capture data before the rings vanish. Future generations might only read about the rings in history books, longing for that cosmic spectacle. Or perhaps new debris would replenish them, creating a cycle of ring renewal. In cosmic terms, Nothing is permanent, and that includes a ringed moon. But for however long it lasted, it would redefine our relationship with the night sky. A moon with rings would be both mesmerizing and disruptive, changing our tides, our calendars, our technology, and even our culture. It's a reminder that the universe is endlessly creative, capable of reshaping our cosmic neighbors in spectacular ways. While it might be a dream for stargazers, it could also usher in challenges we've never faced before. Yet the awe and wonder might outweigh the risks, proving again that humanity thrives on cosmic curiosity. After all, every glance skyward would spark new questions, and that's the true beauty of astronomy. So, Galactominds, would you love or loathe a ringed moon lighting up our nights? Drop your thoughts below, because this community thrives on your cosmic questions. Thanks for exploring the cosmos with us today. Keep questioning, stay curious, and always look to the stars. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like, share your thoughts below, and subscribe to join the Galactominds. Sharp, brilliant explorers taking over the internet with our vast space knowledge and endless curiosity. Until next time, and remember, keep your eyes on the skies and keep reaching for the unknown.